Now, moving forward, what I'm seeking and what I'm sending out to the universe, to whatever you want to call it, I'm very much more intentional. Right now, I'm going through this period of being single, not knowing what that looks and feels like because I haven't been single in
That's
a long
also the
time.
issue. Like, we gotta talk about that.
That right.
Because, like, being a serial monogamous relationship person, like, when do you figure out who the fuck you are? I've been in relationships since I was, 19? How the hell do I know who I am and trying to pretend to play house with all these niggas when I don't even know who I am?
And oh my gosh. And even with that, before this last relationship, actually before the previous relationship, I was single for a good 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
I thought I was doing the fucking healing until that motherfucking Libra came into my life.
I'm sorry, sis.
I know. It's okay. And he flipped the shit upside down. And it was just like, I thought he was my reward for being single, doing the work. And no, he was my lesson. Like, no, bitch, you wasn't doing shit.
Go. And another thing to that is, there's two things, right? One thing is, we do heal from parts, right? There are things that it's like, cool, we good on this part. We don't even gotta revisit this shit no more because we're good. Right, and whenever we do get triggered, it hits us differently and we're able to process it. So we also have to acknowledge that, right?
Absolutely.
But also, you can't fully heal in a vacuum. And so sometimes people have to come into your life so you can see the blind spots that you would never see because you're by yourself.
That is so important. Speak on it.
Like, I'm here, I've been single for a long time. Meeting someone and just having a companionship with somebody, and it's realizing, like, holy shit, like, there is some, like, deep Negro spiritual shit that I have not touched yet. It's like I am literally hitting levels that I didn't realize I needed to hit because this person is here. Does it mean that it's going to be a long-term, for everything? It doesn't have to be. But some people are literally here to say, here, you're on an upgrade level. And so you have to experience some of these things and some of these triggers, and you have to look at yourself in the reflection that I'm bringing to you so you can further elevate yourself.
So true.
And that's where I'm at. Like, not everybody is going to be long-term based. Sometimes it's literally having someone that is spiritual and that is able to expand the space of your existence. And so you're able to do some of, like, the ancestral trauma work, which is what I've done.
Right. It's so funny that you say that because I feel like I was on a similar journey. My most recent ex, like, all spiritual, all those things. We could have long conversations. Although we were almost the same person, it drove me nuts. Outside of that, like, it was just I will say it was my best relationship. You know what I'm saying? But there's definitely still healing there that has to take place. And I felt like we got to do that separately. You know what I'm saying? I will say, even the very breakup catapulted me into this level that I never thought that I was going to be in. Like, although I'm pissed at how it ended, of course, like, part of me wants to call him and be like, thank you so much, because let me tell you what you did for me. A, B, C, motherfucker, I'm on videos every night. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, I'm living my best motherfucking life. And not in a way to say, I stepped my game up because, after you and,
it's like, thank you.
But in a legitimate thank you, because it made me reflect on all of the shit that I was lacking, not just in the relationship, but before, you know what I'm saying? If the number one thing that I will say that I learned was my boundaries and how to stick to those motherfuckers. I remember in therapy us discussing boundaries, and I'm like, oh, I ain't got an issue with boundaries. I'll tell a motherfucker hell no in a minute. But when it comes to the people that I love, that's hard for me. You see what I'm saying? And so you don't think about that part, because when you think of a person who lacks boundaries, you automatically assume that they're weak or meek or mild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not true. And so getting to the point where I'm like, no, this is what I think, this is what I feel, period. There's no comma, there's no semicolon. It's a period, and just
no LOL smiley face.
No LOL smiley face.
Shit is for real.
It is. And just living in that. And even during this time, I'm going through this period of I'm single, it's been a few months, and wanting and desiring that companionship, but knowing that all of and I've had motherfuckers at my door for the last couple of months. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's been a few motherfuckers that's been like, knock, 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 girl, hey girl, how you doing?
And I heard you saw the streets.
No, we ain't doing that. And it's funny because I feel like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever, when I was in a different mindset, I might have entertained them because I was lonely. And because I needed that affection and I needed that intimacy, you know what I'm saying, outside of sex, that intimacy. And oh goodness, and companionship, and just being like, okay.
Spirit agrees.
Oh Lord, yes, they did. But just being like, there we go. Just being like, okay, I think you had the time on it. Just being like, okay, none of these guys would I ever consider myself with. And that's not to say that I am disregarding people that, you know, Spirit or God brings in my atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But knowing the difference, being able to tell the difference between somebody who's going to waste my time and somebody who's not. If I don't have that thing, and I always say this, if you don't give me those, if I don't feel that thing, I don't want to waste time with you, because I'm very deliberate on where I'm going today. And I thank my ex for that, because I wasn't deliberate before. I was like, oh, well, maybe we can do this, or I want to do this with you, and let's do. No, now it's if you come into my atmosphere, this is the expectation, and if you cannot, you know, adhere to those expectations, Godspeed, by all means. You know what I'm saying? Like, no love lost. I wish you the best, but this is what I want, and I'm intentional about it. Like, I want intentional Black love, okay? I want intentional. I want my forever to be intentional. I'm very intentional about that at this point, and I never was before. I thought I was, but it took all of that to get here to be like, no, I wasn't being intentional about my forever. And forever is a long-ass motherfucking time.
It's a long time. I'm reconsidering that forever shit. Because I don't know, y'all. I feel like I'm in my peak. There's a couple of things I haven't experienced yet.
Right. I don't know, bruh. So, you know.
You know what I wanted to... Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh. You know what I want to add to that is also... I realized after I finally decided to deal with my bullshit that I was using people to supplement what I think I didn't have. And that is the danger to this, right? It's, you can fall in love with people because they are, you know, amazing and they go ahead and they do these things, but everything that you love in somebody else is because you already have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally love is so amazing because we literally get to experience ourselves in a higher vibrational level. I don't love you because of you most of the time. I love you because of how I am with you, who I am, who I'm able to be, and who you're able to be with me.
Okay.
That's literally what this whole shit is, right? It's literally like we are in this, like, the highest possible vibration of existing together in a space that we cultivate. No one is missing anything. You know, it's not finding my other half, it's finding my vibrational whole. Like, I'm on frequency 432 hertz. and you on frequency 4032 hertz, 432 hertz.
You're right there.
And so it's like we're feeding off of each other. And so when my frequency lowers, it's like, hey, come back because we're here. Mm-hmm. Versus like, no, I'm going to put you on the back and I'm going to strap you and we going to get to this frequency together. Like, there are days for that, but it's not where it always has to be that way. Okay. Like, you don't have to supplement anybody for things that you think you don't have. And whatever you like stand on somebody or whatever you really admire in somebody, it's literally because you haven't tapped into that yet. And it's like, hey, the universe is saying, yo, you got this.
Yeah.
See it in this person and know that you have it. Bring it out. Go back into the closet, wherever you got to go, remove the shoes, remove the dress that you ain't wear for 6 years. It's there. Mm-hmm. And there's a danger to that as well. It's part of like, there's like this victimhood syndrome as well, where it's like, I don't want to be accountable for my life. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let you make the decisions and I'm going to let you take up this space I'm too afraid to take up. So yeah, that's a thing that I had to.
That's a whole word. That's a whole word. Mm.
Yeah.
So what, I guess, well, I don't really have a, well, yeah. What, moving forward from this, like, how to protect yourself from, you know what I'm saying, these people who come in the name of healing and that's not their authentic selves. Like, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Even protecting yourself or just being aware.
I think when we recognize that anybody is a reflection of us, see why they're coming. Mm-hmm. See why they're introducing themselves into this part of where you at in your life. And recognize it for what it is. Because they can still be your healer. It just might not be the way that you expected. Yeah, right? Yeah. Like, although this person was eventually a vampire that depleted me, he also became my healer. Because I figured out from this person, choose yourself first. Why? Because that's what they always did. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the ways that they like break your heart are usually the ways that you need to thrive and survive. And so like, yeah, he always chose himself, and it's like, niggas, because I needed to do that shit with myself what I was too. Supposed to do. Right. And so it's like, it hurts in the moment because it's like, damn, like you never chose me. But it's like, if now, do I want anybody to choose me over themselves? No.
No, you don't.
Because I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna choose anybody else over me. Mm-hmm. If you don't add to my life and bring me joy, even if you're just a sexual connection, if you're not adding to my life, you don't deserve to be here. Mm-hmm. Even if you're in a different level, right? Like we are all in different levels of healing. But if you add some kind of richness to my life, stay. But if you're depleting from what I have built so far, you gotta go. And also see how you feel around people. That will always tell you the truth. Like, we second guess our bodies and our instincts. We need to stop fucking doing that.
We need to tap the fuck into that shit because it's real.
Yeah. Like, the biggest truth lives in your body. If you tense up when somebody is around you, if you cannot sleep, even like women who have not orgasmed with niggas, stop fucking them. They the wrong ones.
I'll even go a step further. And we're often told that this is your indication that this is the right person. If you get certain type of butterflies from a motherfucker, no. No. I know I mentioned earlier, I have to feel this thing. what I'm feeling is not butterflies.
Say that.
It's a knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you're meant to be here.